Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is April. I go by Ruby Rouge here on the YouTubes. The video that I'm filming today is all the products that I want to use up in 2020. What you're looking at now is just a small, very small portion. The last time that I actually filmed this project was in 2016, but I felt like it was a really good project to do to set the tone for the year. And although I haven't filmed this project, I have been doing it from list form every year. So I'll explain the nuances a little bit as I go along, so I don't have a 5-minute intro. But my big 5 benefits from this project are shock value, organization, prioritization, no buy motivation, and goal check-in. So stay tuned until the end to see everything together, because I promise you it is a lot, and it's a pretty cool photo just to see it all together. Depending on where I am in my journey, I approach each category just a little bit differently because I have different expectations of what I need to use each year, what I'll be able to use. My ultimate goal would be to get to a place where I only have enough product for 1 year total in every category of my collection. I know a lot of people don't love the word collection, but I don't know a better one. So let's get started. Let's talk about lips. And this is a good example of just wanting to get some prioritization done. I need to declutter my lip products this year. I am just overwhelmed. I'm not exactly certain which ones I'm loving, which ones I need to use, which ones I want to focus on. So I'm in the middle of kind of working on figuring that out and doing a big lip declutter. I haven't done one in probably 1.5 years. So my top picks here were just simply my oldest lip products. These are ones that are old and I know that I like and I just need to use up. After I do my lip declutter, I'll probably have a better idea and maybe switch it up mid-year and add a little more in. But for right now, I know that I could probably finish these and I know that they're getting old. So I just want to put this on priority, that these are being worked on. Blush is another category that I think is just more about prioritization, getting the oldest stuff out. It's also a category I needed a little bit of a declutter. I'm currently focusing on these two, as I have been for the past year already. I know that they'll probably not get finished, but I would love to make some more progress on them. I really, really love these, but they need to be gone by the end of the year. Once again, they are my oldest. And this one is Blushing Bride from Tarte, and this one is Tipsy from Tarte. So I will probably reach for some other blushes, but these will be the ones I keep going back to through the year, just because I would really like to see some pan before I have to throw them out. Although I've gotten a ton of use out of them already. I can't complain. So I've been going through a weird thing with eyeliners where I've just been skipping it a lot. I don't know, that's completely new to me. But my favorite formula is this Ofra Fix line. And I'm really concerned because it may have been reformulated and I really need a new black one because I just had to throw mine out because it's too old. So I'm just kind of paralyzed here. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to try out the new one. It doesn't have that great of reviews. People seem to be kind of disappointed. But I do have this black one from Tom Ford that I got in an influencer box and I freaking love it. This is definitely not one I would repurchase. I mean, that's like $50. I don't know. I mean, it's a great eyeliner, but $50 for an eyeliner is a lot. So I just kind of put these in here because these are the oldest ones I have. They need to be used by the end of the year. They're getting really old. This is one of those things that the reason I do these types of projects, because I got really excited about colorful liners. I never, ever, ever use these now. So I'm like, this year we're going to either use them or lose them. The cool thing is after I finish up or declutter these eyeliners this year, this is it. And I'm probably going to finish this up too. So I'm going to have a fresh start for eyeliners. And I'll definitely be at my goal of only having enough to use in a year. Brows. So I ended up getting this category to goals just last month when I finished up a long time use brow product. It just took me forever to use. So I finished that up in 19 and 19 Project Pan. And then I decided to declutter another one that was getting goals. These are all the brow products that I have right now. except for one NYX eye pencil, which I should have just included because I'll probably get to it this year. But this is a really good amount of brow products for a year. Like, I'm super excited. This is really comfortable. I probably will not be able to finish the VZ Art palette just because I've already been working on it for a minute. But, you know, I love the VZ Art palette. It's not going anywhere. It's fine. So yeah, we'll just keep working on it. But this makes me feel good. Mascara is another category that I've already gotten to goals a couple of years ago. All of these mascaras pretty much came in boxes. I bought the MAC Haute n Naughty just because, or no, not Haute n Naughty, Extended Play Giga Lash, because it is my absolute favorite. And I love to just have it on hand just in case, because it's my favorite right now. It's a formula that I can always count on. The rest of these I got in boxes, or, you know, I think this Milk Kush I got with points maybe from Sephora, I'm not sure. Or as just a sample, I can't remember. I didn't say it already, this is the perfect amount of mascara for me for a year. I'm sure that I will finish all of these and stay on track. Eyeshadow, this palette's just really a placeholder. I am such a long way from getting to this yearly goal. You know when people talk about, like, they have 25 years worth of eyeshadow? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I do have that much as well. I'm not judging, I'm just saying I'm trying to get out of that habit. I'm cool with having a little extra than 1 year's worth, but I have been really limiting my buying and trying to keep up with decluttering my least favorites so that I'm not just swimming in crazy copious amounts of eyeshadow. I purchased one last year and I received one for Christmas. I'm about to give BoxyCharm the axe. You guys should check out that video when it's up because I think it will be insightful, and that's going to help a lot. I'm just going to keep focusing on my Pan That palette, and I also have a super fun create your own palette that I've been doing every month. You should check out that. It's included in my Pan That palette. It's a lot of fun. I'm just going to stick with that. I'm going to keep not overbuying, and yeah, I mean, eventually I'll work through or declutter what I have. This is the Pure Get a Grip Eye Primer, NARS Primer, Cover FX. Oh, that's not even supposed to be in there. It was supposed to be this Lorac eye primer. I just need to finish those primers. They're the oldest ones I have. They need to go, so hopefully I can finish those this year. Bronzer, contour, and highlight. I think this is a good example of just no-buy motivation. So just like eyeshadow, I'm too far away from the yearly goal, so I've really put myself on a no-buy for the last year or two in this category until I finish up what I have. I love everything that I have at this point. I recently just did a declutter, so I'm certain of that. I'm just going to continue focusing on these. The Smashbox one is going to be done soon, which is, it's actually kind of bittersweet because I freaking love that palette. And then this Hourglass one, I mean, it's almost done. I didn't like the blushes in there. It's not that I didn't like them. They didn't really work for my enlarged pores. But other than that, they were nice blushes. They just didn't work for me. Anyway, so these will be done soon. I'm sticking with no buying in this category, just continuing to use what I have, and eventually it'll be done. I forgot to add this little baby into bronzer, contour, and highlight, but this is the highlight that I'm planning on using up this year, or at least making some serious progress in. It's also in my 20 and 20 project pan. Finishing powders. This is a really good example of this project being helpful with goal check-in. My finishing powder category used to be perfect. I only had the 1 year of product, but I drastically reduced my use of face powder last year with really no real reason behind it. I changed the foundation and I think it just needed less powder. And I'm not touching up as much throughout the day. So my habits just changed. And this is a really good reason why I only want to have 1 year's worth of stuff, because your habits do change. Your likes change. Everything about you changes over time. And you just never know or can predict when that's going to be. So now I have kind of a lot of extra face powder that I might be able to use this up in a year. I'm pretty sure that I should be able to. But I definitely don't need all this at one time. But the cool thing about this project is, if I chill right now and I don't buy any more face powder, I should be good again by next year. About taste changing was this used to be my absolute favorite powder ever. And I don't know if they've changed the formula or if my foundation that I'm using right now, something has or I just happened to notice it. But this has been oxidizing on me so bad that I can't even wear it in the winter anymore. I have to wait until summer where it kind of oxidizes a little closer to my natural skin tone. But it's just an example of, thank God, because this was my favorite, this is something I would have purchased 5, 10, you know, maybe not that many, but every time I saw it on sale, I would have picked up another one and had so many that I would have ended up having to go through. Concealers. This is another category that I did manage to get under control a few years ago. I only have the 1 year. I've been in a replacement only buying pattern. It's worked mostly well. I did get a couple in boxes this year that's kind of throwing me off, but as long as I finish these this year, I think I'll stay on track. These are also the only ones in my collection that are currently open, which is really nice. So these are the ones that I'm like, okay, I need to use these or they're gonna go bad. This one's not open, but I don't trust these little foil packets. Plus, I just don't like to have them laying around. So yeah, I just need to finish these up this year and I'll be good to go. Foundation, this isn't something I really have a big problem with. Too many foundations break me out for me to like really desire to try a bunch. I try to keep, it's not something I do lightly. It's like a big deal. If I'm going to try a foundation, like it's a big deal for me. I tend to keep this category right at just enough for the 1 year mark. These are my oldest ones that are ready to be used up. These two from Bare Minerals, they've discontinued, and I don't really like them that much anymore. So I'm hoping that I'll find like a little use for them. I have some ideas. I might try to find a use for them to use them up. This Milk foundation I love. It's just not quite the right color for me, so I definitely want to use that one up. And then once again, back to the little blister packets, just not something I'd like to keep hanging around, and those have been hanging around for a while. Primers, I am in good standing with primers. They're another category that tend to break me out, so I just have to be careful with them. And I either need to use these or lose these because I've been holding on to them for too long, minus the Fix Plus. I do use the Fix Plus regularly. Both of these primers, I just need to use them. They're getting really old. Okay, this is where it starts to get big. Skincare is one of those categories that I have been trying to get under control for a while. It's also one of those categories I use a lot up in a year, so it makes it a little bit harder to judge. So although this might look like a lot, I'm pretty certain I can use the majority of it all up and hopefully get a little bit closer to the just 1 year worth of extra product. Right now I have about 2 years. So I have this and then I have double this. Yeah, that's what I have. And I just want like this amount would be nice. So my motivation for this year is just stick to my no-buy and to keep using stuff up, to get rid of my boxes because that's where a lot of the problem starts, and to only replace my ride or dies. So there's some products like this Ulla Henriksen Invigorating Night Transformation Gel. I buy one of these every single year because it is pretty friggin' awesome. It's just a good product and my skin misses it. So other than that, just things that my skin will actually miss are the things that I want to repurchase. I have a few sheet masks and stuff here. I have a lot more I would like to get through, but I'm trying to be realistic. Skincare is also one of those categories where you don't want to introduce a bunch of new products at one time. So you need to create your routine, stick to it, and as you use things up, you can add, one product in at a time. So that kind of slows me down. If I could just go willy-nilly and start using all of it at one time, of course, I could get it used a lot faster, but I don't want to create breakouts. My hair care journey and my skincare journey, I feel like have been really similar over the last couple of years. I've been really working on them with intention, and I just can't seem to make any real progress. I feel like the biggest obstacle for me were boxes, and then in hair care I had a couple of huge full-size products that I needed to finish Two of them were in my collection since I had been working on them like diligently since 2013. They were huge. I just finished both of those in January, and I am canceling boxes, like I said, this year. So this really could be my year. My problem now is just that I have a lot of samples, and just like with skincare, I'm really particular about what I'm introducing to my hair. So I don't like to switch back and forth and, you know, just be all willy-nilly with my hair care, just because I have had problems in the past. And just like a lot of people are having problems with the Diva Curl, which I'm not blaming anyone for bad hair care routine with those situations, just because I don't think anybody could have guessed that. But like, it was a lot easier to pinpoint a particular problem or product when you aren't using way too many at one time. Bath and Body. I think this category looks the worst, but it's actually the one I have probably the most under control. Well, maybe not the most. This does look like a lot. I do this every single year though. I partake on the Lush end of the year sale, Boxing Day sale. And the problem with Lush is that most of it only lasts a year. So I have to use all of it and have to include all of it in this little video here because I have to use it all up this year. Knowing that though helps me not to buy too many things. Like, I know that when I'm picking out what I want to buy from Lush, I'm like, okay, I can only have 4 or 5 body washes, a couple bars of soap, a couple lotions. Like, I know that I can't get too many at one time because I have to use them up in a year. And it's that same sort of mentality that works for me in this whole project as well. I will most likely use all of this up this year without any problem. There might be 1 or 2 little things that hangs over, but I got this category under control many, many years ago. This was the very first category that I ever set out to do with the intention of only having enough for 1 year. So I have a pretty good feel for how much I can use in a year. But with that in mind, I definitely can't buy anymore until I use most of this. Because if I do, I won't keep my goal. This is sort of maxed out right here for me to still be able to keep my goal. Alright, so this is the end where I zoom way out and we look at this massive amount of stuff on the table. It looks a little overwhelming, a little gluttonous. And no, I don't take that lightly. That's part of the reason I'm working on my habits. Making sure I'm not throwing stuff away. If I'm using it, it's fine. This project is really fun for me. I like the shock value of seeing this together. It just keeps me motivated, keeps me on my goals. It really isn't so much a project, I guess, is really just getting everything out, getting it organizing, prioritizing, make sure I'm using the oldest stuff, make sure I'm keeping my goals in check, make sure I'm staying motivated to not buy the stuff I don't need to be buying. You know, when I'm in the store and I'm tempted for one of those just a little miscellaneous product and I'm like, well, it's not that expensive, and I'm like, no. Mental check, I have a whole table full of stuff that needs to be used up. If I'm still interested, I can buy it once I use some of that stuff up. 9 times out of 10, I'm not interested in it. 9 times out of 10, if I do give in and bring the product home, I forget about it. It goes into this pile of stuff, and 2 years later, I'm like, oh, here's that product I bought while I was in Marshall's for $7.99 that's probably kind of old and yucky at this point. Point being, this is a good way to keep yourself motivated. It also makes, you know, really cool, fun before and after pics. I mean, seeing this table mostly gone at the end of the year will be really nice. I will do my best to update you guys sometime in June or July because it is fun to have like a little 6-month update. You'd be surprised how much is actually gone at the 6-month period. I would say there'd be a pretty decent sized dent by then. Right at the end, how to change the battery. I'm going to link a Google Doc down below in the description box. This is not some sort of official document, so you guys are probably going to find, anybody who looks at it, you're going to find a lot of errors, maybe some inconsistencies. This is a hard little, I wouldn't say it's hard, but you know, it's hard to get everything perfect in this project. I update it as I go as needed. but it's just it's meant for you to kind of see what I'm doing, see how I've been doing this project off camera every year. And it's the document I'll kind of reference throughout to make sure I'm staying on track. I usually look at it when I know I finished a product on it. I'll mark it off. Maybe I'll show you last year so you can see how I mark it off. But when I know I finished a product, or I'll check on it then, or just periodically when I think about it. I'm like, okay, what do I need? I finished a couple lotions. What kind of lotion do I need to focus on? Just to make sure that I'm using stuff. Alright guys, so if you have any questions about the project that I didn't cover, or just any questions or even ideas to make it better, let me know down below in the comments section. I recommended quite a few videos throughout this one, so feel free to check any of those out. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and watching and hanging out with me for this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys again. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!